Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we'll be doing a quick sketch of a person on a motorcycle. So we'll be showing it from the front angle, so the person is coming like not directly at us but coming toward us, but as seen as from a certain angle from this side, so more of this is showing than the other side. So if you have your pencils all set, let's sketch ourselves a person on a motorcycle. So the essential thing that we are trying to do is to get the pose going, and not necessarily each and every little detail of what the bike is. It could be any bike. So we start with an oval right there. I would put a line in like that, even go about to just put a sort of a box, but in this position. So as of course there's some foreshortening going on here, so this is appearing shorter than this, so this is bigger. You can even go taller on the oval if you wish. Actually taller might be better now that I think about it. So it doesn't need to be very sharp, it just needs to be a rough oval with very light strokes. So going backward, that is smaller, and right around there you could put in foreshortened oval again. It could be a little larger depending on what angle you're looking at this from, but that should do for now, and we'll of course work some little details around the tires and all that. Now the next important thing is of course putting the person on top of the bike, but before we do that we need to give this a little bit of additional lines. So those are the supports. Let's put in a mud guard, or that goes over the tire right here. The light will be somewhere around there, so the headlight or the light in this case. Let's put in a set of generic handles. I say generic because there are bikes in which, like choppers, where the handles are turned down, and this is like extensively large. We'll be doing that too, but right now let's start with this. So generic handles, try to keep them as parallel as you can because that would make it more accurate. Let's give this bike a tank right there, and then go backward like that. So one oval and another oval like that to give it that additional dimension, but make this one a little smaller. If it isn't, that's fine, but if it is a little smaller than this, so right around there, it would really work. So then I guess we can start to put the guy on the bike. So we have one hand there, other hand right there, and then so that's one arm, shoulders right around here, foreshortening, and foreshortening can go like this, get some elbow visible, or just like that, we will decide. You can also use the coil in this case. So coil means that if those are the shoulders, 1, 2 and 3, so just so you have some guideline to work with. And right there is the head of the person. So we go back down, and that is the outside of the body, going backward a little bit. So it really depends on the bike, depends on the pose. So this is more like one of those fat boys, or the Harley, a Harley. So a straighter posture, but not exactly straight. I want to do the conventional sitting on a bike pose. So chest area there, so a little bit backward. I would recommend going back all the way there, lower part of the torso, and then again we have some foreshortening to do. So we have to have the foot somewhere around here. right? And those will be, of course, there will be a support here, the foot is here, the other foot is also pretty much visible from this angle, depending on how we put the wheel in, and we will go about that, but let's put that in for now. And of course we have all sorts of like details here, and they might cover a part of the foot, or you could bring the foot out even more, but you have to imagine just foreshortening like all the way through. So it depends on how we place that as well. And then we go and put in the knee and the shin right there, and there is the bit of that thigh visible from that angle. And then of course the rest is on how much of the bike we are willing to show. If I grab myself a few colored pens, I think it might actually help a little more to go about this so that we can see this better. So I'm going to first just highlight the person. So I'm going to give him that hand right around there. I'm going to give him that hand here and the thumb going like that. Okay, so we go back and we'll give him a jacket, sort of, because jackets are, I guess, customary when you drive a Harley Davidson, like it looks cool. And we do some foreshortening here around the coils, as I had mentioned that the coils, they will work, and there is the other arm right there with a bit of the sleeve showing there, just to make this a little more real. And then we come back in, so you could put in details for the jacket, that's all up to you, or you could just let it be generic for now. It is a sketch, after all, a quick sketch, and we're just determining the posture and how this really goes to work for us. And there is the bit of the thigh showing. Now the tank is covering this, but I'm going to go all out and just put in the knee like that, and I'm going to put in a foot right around there. So he's wearing boots, right there, so he's right there, that leg is extended to the other side, and that boot is right there. So he is basically seated on the bike in that pose, as you can see. And of course there is his head, and you'll of course give him some sort of a helmet because he needs to be safe. Safety is number one. Let's give him some goggles right there, and just there's the guy sitting on the bike. And then as for the bike itself, now what we can do is I'll use a darker color there. So there is one part of the apparatus, the light, handle going right through, and of course all the details you will incorporate on your own and see what the thickness of the tire is. If it goes like that, the foot will be covered. You could bring the thickness inward and just end the wheel right there. That's all up to you. And the back wheel, for that matter, the same routine for the back wheel, but as long as you have the foreshortening going and you match the thickness right there, you're good. And of course there is the tank. You could shorten it, you could increase it, all up to you of what kind of bike you are basing your artwork on. And of course right here, now it will depend again what kind of a bike it is. You will of course have to hide a bit of the foot or place it differently if you want to show it all, and there will be like all those details regarding the engine the engine and the workings thereof showing, because they always show when it is a bike. Some of them have this apparatus at the bottom where there's all of this is contained within a box-like structure. So, and you could of course have a seat at the back. Now, that is the essential setup of putting down a bike. And of course, you can put in all sorts of details. You could source pictures and see how the tires are, how these two shafts attach to the tires, and there's a lot more details going here. There are mirrors. The handles are have the brakes right here going on top of the hands. But if you got this going, you'll be able to put down a biker very easily. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, keep in touch, have yourself a wonderful day.